Happy day learners! I warmly welcome you all to this e-content session presented by the Department of Management Studies, MOP Vaishnav College for Women. I am Sneha, Assistant Professor, Postgraduate Program in Human Resource Management, and I am truly delighted to take you through a very relevant and timely topic, performance management in hybrid work environment. Here's a roadmap of our session. I'll be taking you through what is performance management, what is hybrid work environment, what are the types of hybrid work model, what are the challenges and the practices that the organizations are implementing in order to manage the performance hybrid work environments. Have you ever wondered how organizations are managing their teams when they are not physically together? Let's begin with a real-world example. In April 2024, TCS announced a temporary policy, wherein their employees' quarterly variable pay was linked with in-office attendance. This policy stated that employees who have a shortfall of attendance with less than 60% were not eligible to avail their quarterly variable pay. But what was the outcome of this policy? Was after the implementation on July 2024, TCS reported that 70% of the employees are now back to office, that is, the attendance percentage has improved. This policy was implemented in order to bring a significant behavioral shift among the employees through a performance-linked incentives. Hybrid work model has become a new norm now. So it's very important as HR professionals and HR aspirant students to have a well-structured knowledge about how to manage them effectively in the organizational setup. Let's see what performance management is. Performance management is a continuous process of identifying, measuring, developing of performance of the individuals and the teams and aligning those performance with the strategic goals of the organization. This definition itself says that one of the primary objectives of performance management is to link the individual goals with the strategic goals of the organization. Meaning, the organization must ensure that all the individual goals are aligned towards the organizational vision and mission so that they can achieve their long-term goal of the organization. The next objective is to enhance the communication and expectations between the employees and the management. The major objective being enhancing expectations or communication is performance management itself is a two-way communication process right from goal setting till the performance review process. So in this way, the organization can also communicate what are the goals that they expect or what are the expectations they have from their employees, as well as the employees also have a chance to say what are the concerns that they have during their performance process. What are the performance gap they have? How can the organization support them? So there is a lot of communications and expectations shared between the management and the employees, which also helps them to build a better relationship. The third goal being facilitating continuous feedback and development. This is because organizations are now focusing on giving feedbacks to their employees on timely basis. It starts from weekly basis, monthly basis, quarterly, half-yearly and annual. This is done because employees shouldn't have a major deviation from their performance goal, and the organization ensures that the gaps are being addressed on a timely basis. So when providing continuous feedback, it also gives a scope for development for the employees to correct from their deviations. The fourth objective of performance management is recognizing and rewarding the performance. So when we do the performance review process, organizations tend to identify who are the top performers, moderate and the average performers. So the organization ensures that based on their performance, they are being rewarded with the timely bonuses, incentives, and their works are being recognized by giving them the promotional opportunity. This serves as a motivation for the employees who are already doing good to perform and continue in the same manner, and also for other employees to perform better to become a top performer to gain all these advantages. And the last objective being identifying training and development needs. Every organization documents their performance review process, through which they tend to analyze where are the performance gaps within their employees and which are the areas of improvement as an organization as a whole that they have to focus on, which also serves as a data for their training and development needs. Based on that, which they develop training and development programs. When we talk about performance management, there are two roles that has to be focused on. One is the appraiser, another one is an appraisee. Appraiser is no one but typically a manager or a supervisor or whomever you're reporting to or who is responsible for evaluating your performances. Appraisee is the employees of whose performance is being evaluated itself. So these two major roles is very important technically to understand the performance management process. Now let's get into what is hybrid work environment. According to Gallup 2021, hybrid work environment is a flexible working arrangement whereas employees work partly in physical workplace and partly remotely, called as work from home in the recent terms, which also enables them to have a better work-life balance, autonomy, and collaboration. So basically, hybrid work model is a combination of working from office and working from home. So what are the merits of having this hybrid work mode setting? Fostering a win-win relationship between the employee and the company is one of the major merit of having a hybrid work environment. This is a win-win relationship because the employees are also at a convenient to choose. They are given an autonomy to choose to where they can work from, and also creating a very good image for the company of being very flexible to their employees. Ensuring team engagement across different locations and maintaining strong communication channels between the teams goes hands in hand. Meaning, the organizations these days, in order to collaborate with the hybrid work people, that is people working from remotely, they use a lot of in-house technologies like Slack, Microsoft Teams, Zoom meetings, so that with the use of all these technologies, they can connect with employees who are across different geographical locations, which also enhances a good collaboration and cohesiveness between the organization. Next is the reduced operational cost, which is a very important merit of hybrid work mode setting. By doing a hybrid work mode setting, the organization can switch a part of their employees to remote and in-office, whereby they are able to save a lot of office space cost, the overhead cost, the utilities cost as well. The last merit of hybrid work mode setting is attract talent pool and retention. When we are offering as an organization, when the organization offers a flexibility of hybrid work model, they can attract a broader talent pool apart from their geographical location, so that we have a diverse groups of people working in the organization, and which also has a very good effect on the retention rate of the organization. Next, coming into what are the types of hybrid work model. The first one is primarily in-office hybrid work mode. That is, the name itself says that employees are expected to work mostly from the office. For example, 3 to 4 days a week, they are expected to come to office. One such company which is offering such hybrid work model is TCS. The next one is primarily remote hybrid model, wherein the employees are expected to work mostly remotely and coming to the office only during critical meetings or maybe once in a week, depending on the organization policy. One company which is using such policy is Dropbox. And the last one is flexible hybrid mode, wherein the employees are given the autonomy to choose how many days they want to work from office and how many days they can choose to work from home. One such company that is offering is Google. So when I have tried to map these three models which I explained in the previous slides into a matrix grid, wherein you can see that for a primarily in-office model, the location flexibility is really low because they need to work from office most of the days. Their office presence is high and the employees' autonomy is moderate. They're not given enough autonomy to choose where they can work from. Primarily remote is something which is focused on wherein the employees can work on a remote basis and occasionally can visit the office based on the need of the organization. The location flexibility is high, office presence is low, and the employees' autonomy is also high. They are given an autonomy to work from home. Flexible is wherein this is a setup wherein the employees can choose depending on their own choices. So here the location flexibility is very high, the office presence is variable, meaning they can choose whether they want to come or not, and the employees' autonomy is also very high in this case. The next thing that we are going to deal is what are the challenges that the organizations are facing when they are working through a hybrid work mode setting. The first challenge being communication gaps. People who are working from remote or from home can cannot be able to communicate or reach out their or their supervisors whenever they need. So what happens is there will be a lot of communication gaps and misunderstandings, and there is a very less chances of information being shared. So this leads to a lot of communication gap. The next one is unconscious bias. What happens is when the organizations work in a hybrid work mode setting, managers may unconsciously favor in-office employees rather than the remote workers. The next one is performance monitoring. Assessing the employees' performance without them being physically present in the office itself is a very big challenge for the organizations. The next one is maintaining unified company culture among the employees, and the employees also sharing the same values and beliefs is also going to be a very big problem for the organization, since people are sitting partly from office and partly at home. The last one is work-life balance, where we have heard a lot of cases that after this COVID pandemic, after this remote working and hybrid work mode setting came into picture, asked to work for a longer hours, we have heard a lot of cases. So since there is a blurred boundaries between work and personal time for their employees, it becomes a very big challenge for the employees to have a proper work-life balance. So we have seen what are the challenges. Now, what are the strategies that the organizations can use in order to overcome these challenges in a hybrid work mode setting? The first one is set clear expectations. In management terms, we call it as SMART goals. Goals can be set which is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. So it is very important organizations set such goals so that it is easily achievable by the employees as well. Having a regular and continuous check-in to discuss the progress of the employees, even though the people are working in office or remote, it is very much required for the managers to have a regular check-in to identify if there is any gap and how it can be addressed. The next one is outcome-based evaluation, wherein the organization would focus on what the results or what are the outcomes that they have achieved, rather than focusing on where they are working from or for how many hours they have worked with. Next is foster inclusivity in the policy, that is, the organization should ensure whether the employees, irrespective of if they are working in office or working from home, they get the equal opportunities and equal resources to perform their job. The last one is liberate technology, wherein the organization can use digitalized tools, as I already named, like Slack, Microsoft Teams, Zooms, and there are so many in-house technologies which are also built up. Personalized in-house technologies which are built up used by many organizations to collaborate between the team and ensure that they achieve their individual goals, which also facilitate to their organizational goals. This using of correct technologies will also maximize the good communication relationship between the employees and also ensures to have a good cohesiveness between the organization. I would like to conclude with a note. Hybrid work doesn't happen by chance. You need to be proactive, thoughtful, and intentional to make it work properly. It is not easy, but it is a doable one, and the outcomes can be massive. So if the organization manages it very properly, the outcomes are massive, which many of the organizations are doing it these days. In order to conclude, performance management is not about having rigid metrics or annual reviews. It is all about providing an environment where the employees can perform better from wherever they are. Thank you.